Prince Harry was one of the most anticipated guests at the coronation of his father, King Charles III. And although he didn't try to steal the spotlight, the media followed his every move and look. This was the first time the prince had seen his family since the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II, so everyone was curious to see how he'd get along with all of them. However, the royal family didn't want any drama, and they did their best to keep him on the sidelines. Even when he arrived at the coronation, the prince entered Westminster Abbey alone. As he was walking toward his seat, Harry greeted the other guests. A lip reader shared with the Mirror that, as he was surveying the decorations of the church, he uttered phrases like "look at that" and "delightful." Although he was smiling, body language experts noted that the prince seemed to be anxious and nervous. Possibly he didn't feel like he even belonged there. Harry was seated far away from his brother. He was in the third row next to his cousin, Princess Eugenie, her husband Jack Brooksbank, as well as his uncle, Prince Andrew. Unsurprisingly, the prince had no role in the coronation. He was only treated as a guest and didn't even get to wear his military uniform. Instead, he wore a suit from the non-British fashion house Dior. What's more, it was often hard to even see the Duke of Sussex during the ceremony. He was sitting right behind his aunt, Princess Anne, and she had a big feather on her headpiece that kept covering his face. Some people thought it might have been done on purpose, and comments about it were all over Twitter. "Princess Anne doing the Lord's work for us, say hello to the feathers," someone wrote. Judging from some other posts, the red feather itself is trending now, and there were also jokes about it giving the prince his much-requested privacy. Indeed, the relationship between Harry and the other royal family members is clearly still very strained, especially since he and his wife Meghan Markle released a Netflix docuseries. In it, they talked about how she faced racism from the British press and claimed the royal family did not support her. As if that wasn't enough, Harry then published his bombshell memoir Spare, which revealed even more nasty details about the royal family. Inviting both the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to the coronation seemed to be an olive branch, but it appears that it didn't work. To the relief of many, Meghan refused to attend the event. Insiders claim that the royal family members were glad about it, because everyone feared that if she did come, all the attention would be on her instead of the king. After all, she's been repeatedly accused of trying to do it before. Just a week before the coronation, the Duchess of Sussex made 3 public appearances. It included a TED Talk, a visit to a Lakers basketball game, and the announcement of her signing with a major Hollywood agency. Given that Meghan deliberately stayed away from the spotlight for a few months before that, royal experts such as Dan Wootton immediately claimed that she was shamelessly trying to garner more focus on herself. But the official reason as to why Meghan skipped the coronation was for her older son, Prince Archie. He was celebrating his 4th birthday on the same day. But another royal biographer, Omid Scobie, noted that she did it to protect her own inner peace.
She is aware of how sort of much of the spotlight goes on her when she sets even a foot near the story.
Yet for Harry, it would be impossible to refuse to attend the ceremony. He had to be there for his father, knowing that every tiny aspect of his behaviour would be watched and scrutinised. So it was probably Harry's decision to give as little ground for that as possible. He wasn't seen communicating with his father or brother, and that was actually expected. Prior to the coronation, multiple sources claimed that Prince William didn't want anything to do with his brother, because he feared that whatever he'd say to Harry in private would quickly become public. Yet at the same time, some people considered the coronation to be an opportunity for them to finally reconcile. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. After the coronation ceremony was over, Harry didn't join the procession or the royal balcony moment. Instead, he got into a car that reportedly went straight to Heathrow Airport. It means that the prince was desperate to go home to be with his family. A lot of people noticed that Harry looked very happy as he was leaving. He was probably glad that the hard day was over. But despite all the criticism, Harry also received a lot of support from his fans. Many people on Twitter noted how well assured he looked. Having been downgraded from the king's son to a mere guest could have made him bitter and judgmental. However, the prince smiled throughout the ceremony. Vilified by the press, crucified in the media, yet turns up smiling, self-confident, courageous, someone wrote on Twitter. A shining example of strength in adversity, another person noted. Let us hope that the royal rift will end one day, and Harry will finally be able to reconcile with his family. What did you think about the prince's presence at Charles's coronation? Share in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.